y'all. Welcome in the kitchen with me. So today we are going live and we're going to make some Swedish meatballs. So Chandra Sean Pearson, I hope you're ready. Come on. So as I stated for the ingredients that we'll need for this recipe is 1 pound of ground beef, the Lipton onion soup, some breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, and our seasonings. So I'm cutting my onion up. This is 1 large onion. I'm going to dice this up into medium size. You don't want it too large, so we're just going to cut them up. If you have a food processor where you chop your vegetables up, you can use that. I'm just choosing to use a knife to cut mine up. So now I'm going to take the onions that I cut up and I'm going to add some olive oil in my skillet. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, butter, whatever you want to use. I'm going to saute these onions so that I can add them into my ground beef. And the purpose of sauteing the onions is that for some reason they hold better when you're making your meatballs versus if you just put the raw onions in there. You'll get, even when you saute them, a few of them will fall out, but not as many as if you put them in there raw. So now I'm going to add my Lipton onion soup mix in here. I'm going to add my 2 large eggs. Make sure you don't drop an eggshell in there. If you do, take it out. Some garlic powder, some Lowry seasoned salt, some black pepper, and some Panko breadcrumbs. And now I'm going to add my sauteed onions in here. And we're going to get all of this mixed up together. Just make sure you get it all mixed up well. Everything is incorporated together. And I share with people, these are the seasonings that I use, but if you have seasonings that you like to use, you can use your own seasonings. These are just the seasonings that I use. And so now that I got this all mixed up, I'm going to start making my meatballs. And so here's the thing, if you want them big or you want them small, you make them to whatever size you want. I usually like to make the medium size ones, but if you want bigger ones, you do that. Or if you want smaller ones, you make them smaller. It's up to you. And so now I'm going to take my meatballs. I've added a little bit of oil into the skillet where I had sauteed the onions. So we're going to get those in there. And we're going to let them sear on this side for a few minutes. And then we're going to flip them over. So while those are cooking, I'm going to get my onion cut up. That's going to be for my gravy. And I cut up 1 large onion. So now I'm flipping the meatballs over. And you want to let them get brown on this side too. And then you just kind of want to turn them in between so it can be cooked and brown on every side. So we'll let those cook for a few more minutes. And now we're going to take these out and put them on a plate so that we can get our gravy started. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour in here. And I added a little bit of the oil in there that I had from the meatballs and a little bit of my water. And we're going to get that mixed up so that we don't have any lumps in there. We're going to scrape the bottom of the skillet so we can get all those seasonings that was left from the meatballs in there. And we're just going to keep on mixing that up. And adding a little bit of water. Smooth, I added some Lowry seasoned salt. I added another pack of Lipton onion soup mix, and we're going to give that a good whisking. And make sure you can dip a spoon in there and give it a taste to see if you need to add any more seasoning. And make sure to just season to your liking. I'm going to add my meatballs back into it. I'm going to cover that on high and let it cook for a little bit. And while it's cooking up on high, the gravy is just going to thicken. So as you can see, the gravy is starting to thicken. I'm going to give it a little swirl, twirl, mix those meatballs up in there. I'm going to add those onions that I had cut up. They go in the gravy. I added 1 large onion, and if you like more onion, you can add more onion. And we're just going to let those cook for a little while.